Welcome back, everyone, to Minneapolis for the start of the second half between Minnesota and Wisconsin. The Gophers lead by a touchdown and 7 points. I'm Mark Jones, along with Chris Spielman, Holly Rowe down in the sidelines. And Chris, we said at the top of the show that neither of these teams are going to a bowl game, but this game, because it's the longest rivalry in all of college football, would take on bowl-type intensity. It has.
Well, when you're playing for the Axe, which is important between Minnesota and Wisconsin, the intensity is there. Guys are playing to win. It's a fun game to watch.
Wisconsin will start off on its own 20-yard line. Nick Davis takes the knee. Let's take a look at our ESPN2 game track. Some of the cogent points of the first half. Anthony Davis, the freshman sensation with 150 yards rushing, setting a freshman rushing record. And Asad Abdul-Khalik, he was on fire in the first half with 160 yards, 9 to 13, 2 touchdown passes to Ben Utek. That was the second one right there. First down and 10, Badgers at the 20-yard line. Davis out to the 24, running over Johnson and Benning. Let's go down to Holly.
Guys, talking to both coaches at halftime, Barry Alvarez from Wisconsin said, hey, they are 4 busts on defense away from being right in this game. He said he's very disappointed with their mental lapses, but they will improve. Also for Minnesota, Glenn Mason said they have got to stop the counter. He said it's killing them up the middle, and he said that they are going to be wide open on offense. Let it all hang out.
Well, they certainly have opened up the playbook here. Second down and 6. Davis again, gaping hole on the right side of the offensive line. Out for the first down at the 31. Brewer making the tackle on the play.
Yeah, that time they ran the lead draw action and got good blocking up front. We were able to create a seam by one guy blocking out, doubling down on the nose and leading on the middle linebacker, Phil Archer. And Anthony Davis, his stature mark, makes a very difficult target to tackle. As a linebacker, I used to like to play against the 6-foot and overbacks, not the 5 feet and underbacks like Anthony Davis. He has great vision and a great burst into the hole.
Hides behind those big offensive linemen. The out pattern incomplete, intended for Evans at the 36. He was working on Dozier. It was incomplete. Second down and 10 to go. That's secondary for Minnesota. Dozier, Lehan, and Brewer in particular, they have held together today.
Yeah, they've done a pretty good job against Lee Evans now. In the first quarter, Lee Evans got off to a rocket start, but now they've kind of shut him down a little bit. Brooks Bollinger's having a little bit of difficulty with the outcut. He's throwing too high and too up behind guys. He's got to get that ball low and outside on the outcut. Here comes the counter.
There's Davis again, and he's trapped up at the line of scrimmage, brought down initially by Greg White. Let's go to Reese in the studio.
All right, Mark, Kansas State trying to become bowl eligible against Missouri, and Josh Scobie going in for the second time, this time 37 yards out. Wildcats recovering nicely after that 4-game losing streak in the middle of the season, and right now it looks as if they're in good shape, becoming bowl eligible.
All right, Reese, third down and 10 from the 31 for the Badgers. Davis split wide to the bottom of your screen. Evans to the top. Working the middle of the field complete. Darren Charles for the first down. A huge target at 6'6".
Yeah, we were down there, couldn't believe how big Charles was during warm-ups, and I tell you, he runs a nice route. Now, he's going against Eisen for the Minnesota defense, is about 5'9". Now, Brooks Bollinger, he can do it by sitting in the pocket, delivers a strike to Charles, who does a good job of adjusting on the football and getting the first down. And the thing I like, Mark, for a guy that doesn't get to play as much as the other two, he ran his route to the sticks and knew where he had to get on the football field to get the first down.
Jake Charles has made a couple of starts this year. Made the most of his time. First down and 10. Nelly in motion. Davis. Down to the 50-yard line, midfield. Tackled by Darrell Reed, number 43. Anthony Davis out of New Jersey. He and his backup, Jerome Pettis, dubbed themselves the East Coast Connection, ECC. Said they want to represent for East Coast football, and he's done a good job doing just that this year. Look at those numbers.
Yeah, I like the bottom one there, 100 rushing yards in 10 games. It's amazing how Wisconsin just has a tradition of turning out back after back and how they're able to establish ground dominance.
On the option, Bollinger got an alley. Brought down by Brewer at the 25, but another Badger first down.
Brooks Ballinger can do it on the ground. He can do it in his feet. He can do it rolling out. He can do a lot of things. You know, Eisen had a chance for him at the line of scrimmage. You'll see, and he misses the tackle. But Brooks Ballinger right here is biding his time. Bam, missed tackle. Close the gate in front of the ball, please. Don't try to tackle him with one arm. And Jack Brewer comes over and finishes him off. But that was a good read on the option by Brooks Ballinger to keep it and not pitch it.
Ballinger apparently playing with a broken nose. The Capital Times in Madison reported earlier this week that he broke his nose trying to break up the fight. Hand it off. Davis down to the 22-yard line. Henry making the stop on the play along with Vance.
And Jimmy Henry did a good job avoiding the block. Now, Wisconsin can do this, too. Their big center has the ability to pull around. Al Johnson, Jimmy Henry kind of just threw him a little juke and move, broke inside underneath the block and made a play on Anthony Davis. That's a good job, Jimmy Henry.
This drive, Chris, resembling the drive early in the game by Wisconsin where they used Davis primarily, just running the ball and moved it down the field well to score. 8 plays, 58 yards so far. Here's Davis again on the counter. That one blown up right near the line of scrimmage. Davis falling forward to the 22, but good penetration on that right side. Vance was there, along with number 2, Brewer.
Yeah, what they did, Mark, and we talked about this in the first half. How do you defend the counter? You got to make the ball run the hump. See, they got penetration. They created a stack of rear ends right there, so Anthony Davis had to run over the hump. Before, he didn't have to run over the hump. He could run it right up inside. That time he had to run the hump, bounce it. Pursuit got him, Jack Brewer.
And it sets up a 3rd down and long. 7 to go. 10th play of the Badger drive. Evans. Did he get his feet down? Incomplete. He was defended by Isom.
That's a nice gutty play by Isom right there. Again, he's giving up size, but getting the start for Eli Ward today. He's battling. And Brooks Ballinger throws a nice ball here. Evans, again, has him beat. Brooks maybe underthrew it a little bit, but that's Isom getting the tip up. Good concentration. And before he had possession, it looks like his feet are out of bounds. Yep, he had to juggle. That's a good call by the officials. Good job, officials.
Noiser now into an attempt to field goal from 40 yards out. 7 of 10 on the season. And he pushed this one to the left. So Wisconsin comes up empty on its opening drive of the 3rd period. One more look at that near touchdown catch by Evans. If it only weren't for the juggle. We'll be right back.
This is Silverado Heavy Duty. Available with the new Duramax diesel. The most powerful diesel you can get in a pickup. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
There's a great deals going on right now at Gateway. Call 1-800-GATEWAY and learn how you can get upgraded to a free flat-screen monitor when you buy a state-of-the-art computer like the Gateway 500X with an Intel Pentium 4 processor. Also learn about Gateway's other great deals, like computers starting as low as $5.99 and Gateway's special no payments, no interest for 6 months plan. Just call 1-800-GATEWAY. That's 1-800-GATEWAY.
Rock around, that's right, on time is tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky. Rock around, on time is tricky. Tricky.
Rated E for everyone.
That is the object of everyone on the field's attentions and affections today. Paul Bunyan's axe, soon to make its way out of the Wisconsin locker room and onto the field. It's okay. He ran 18 yards for a touchdown in the first half. Brought down to 24. Let's go to Holly.
Guys, there's a little saying in college football, when you're a senior, leave it all on the field. Well, for senior Nick Greisen of Wisconsin, the linebacker is kind of doing that right now. He has got a new pair of shoes on. You can see he's blown through his old shoes, completely ripped out the hole. I would say that is some serious effort. He does lead the Big Ten in total tackles, and he's leaving it all on the field today.
Yeah, Holly, 10 tackles today, and he blew a tire, huh?
And starting out the second half like he ended the first half, making a good solid hit for a 1-yard gain.
Got to get him some radials. Hassan Abdul-Khalik brought down at the 24-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and long. Ben Herbert making the stop. Let's go to Reese in the studio.
All right, Mark, in the big house, Ohio State making itself right at home, getting a little rush on John Navarre. Darian Scott knocks it into the air, and Tim Anderson says, I'll take that, thank you. It's set up the Buckeyes, and Jonathan Wells, it looks as if he just went into the end zone as I speak, is 20-0. Pittsburgh and West Virginia now tied at 17.
All right, Reese back here, 3rd down and 8. All day to throw for Abdul-Khalik. Almost picked off. It's incomplete. Good coverage in the secondary that time. Tucker in on the play.
Yeah, Tucker did a nice job of breaking on the ball, helping out his buddy, his defensive back there. And Abdul-Khalik, this is probably the first bad ball he's thrown all day. He's got to put a little bit of air under it. And actually, that's a good defensive play by the receiver. Tony Patterson turning in a defensive back, knocking the ball out.
Preston Groening punting. Davis back to the 30. Took a chance making that catch and trying to make a play. Still on his feet. Lehan saves a touchdown at the 5.
A great job of recognition by Davis. Why? Because of that rule that I don't agree with, the halo rule. What that does, it forces the defender to slow down and not come in and make contact. Nick Davis recognized that and uses his moves and speed to get outside. We got Tony Patterson beat outside because Tony just ran a deep route. And again, this is a great job by Lehan of finishing the play. Could have had a block in the back right there.
A 66-yard return, and look at this shake.
Yeah.
On Davis. 1st and goal from the 5 for Wisconsin. Davis. Couldn't quite get to the edge, and a flag down, late hit by Brandon Vance. He's shaking his head, trying to see maybe if he wanted to pull up. Maybe a good break in time.
Yeah, he looked like he didn't want to hit him hard.
Let's go to Reese in the studio.
All right, Mark, I told you that as I was speaking earlier, Jonathan Wells is going into the end zone, so here's some videotape evidence. Wells going in for the 2nd time of the day, and look at what the Buckeyes are doing, up 21-0.
All right, Reese, I think you hear a little cheering coming from Champaign, Illinois. Let's take one more look at that late hit by Vance.
You see right here, he comes. He sees Davis. Yeah, he gave him a shot, Mark. He gave him a shot, and he realized he was a little late.
Nose of the ball now sitting just on the 1-yard line. 1st and goal.
They'll be able to pull off in that situation.
And for the Badgers to tie it up. Touchdown. Davis again. So Wisconsin able to capitalize on that 66-yard punt return by Nick Davis. He set the table for Anthony Davis. And Wisconsin is just an extra point away from tying this ball game up.
They had a great blocking by that left side of that offensive line, knocking the Minnesota defensive line back into the linebackers.
Set up by number 22, that guy, Nick Davis. You're saying, I almost got in, almost had it. It would have been his 4th punt return for a touchdown in his career. Number 22 had a little bit of candy for everybody. And Wisconsin now tied with Minnesota. We'll be back.
Hey, you want to switch?
Sure.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Avalanche. The only vehicle that switches from an SUV to a pickup.
Good idea.
Chevy Avalanche. Like a rock.
Cordless rotary tool with 9.6 volts of power and over 150 available accessories. It's so versatile, you just can't live without it.
Hey, Hallie Eisenberg, drinking a Pepsi.
Actually, this isn't a Pepsi. It's new Pepsi Twist with lemon. And I'm not Hallie Eisenberg.
I'm Halle Berry.
Drinking Pepsi Twist.
Well, it's not exactly Pepsi Twist. It's Diet Pepsi Twist. And I'm not exactly Halle Berry.
You know. I'm Barry Bostwick.
Who is Barry Bostwick? Like twists? Try new Pepsi Twist and regular and diet. A lemon twist on that great Pepsi taste.
ESPN2's presentation of college football is brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by EA Sports and Madden NFL 2002. If it's in the game, it's in the game.
Video game, you know what? Davis made one of those video game runbacks on that punt just moments ago to set up that touchdown by the Badgers.
That's great awareness and understand the halo rule. You can catch the ball and make moves while the defense has to stop.
That's Redmond brought down at the 27-yard line. Coach and folks, college football continuing tonight at 7 o'clock on ESPN2. The nation's leading rusher, William Green of Boston College, going up to Syracuse in the Carrier Dome to match skills against 54 Dwight Freeney. Green averaging 153 yards per game, and Freeney, sack master supreme in the nation. At 7 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN2, and I think that's where it is. That's the axe.
It's got its own special blankie.
What about that? Who knows? Who knows where that thing's been? Asad Abdul Khalik for Johnson, picked off. Mike Eccles with the interception, and that is the first turnover of the ball game.
Ron Johnson's looking at Asad. Asad's looking at Ron Johnson. Maybe Asad thought Ron Johnson was running a comeback. Eccles did a good job of keeping his body in between the ball and the receiver and catching the ball at its highest point. You'll see again Asad underthrowing this ball. Now, I don't know if he's underthrowing it on purpose, expecting a fade stop by Ron Johnson. There's Eccles going up to the highest point and catching the football. Well, Ron Johnson had him beat deep for a second, and I think Asad thought he was going to run a fade stop, which they call, where the receiver will go deep and he'll throw it, underthrow it on purpose.
First and 10 for Bollinger, keeps it on the option. That's about 4, brought down to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, this is a big series because you sense it, I sense it. The momentum shift has obviously gone to Wisconsin. Minnesota in the first half was able to answer every challenge. Now this is their challenge for their defense. They can answer this challenge right here by Minnesota, who has good field position created by the turnover.
Abdul Khalik on the phone trying to figure out what exactly went awry on that last pass. Johnson out of Detroit, Michigan, in his last home game. Second down and 5. Davis down to the 24, first down Badgers. Not a good block from the other Davis, Nick.
Yeah, missed tackle by Jack Brewer now. That's well defended by Minnesota. Everybody was gapped south. It's a good job of Minnesota's defense putting the ball to the free man, Jack Brewer. But Anthony Davis has such great quicks. He gave Jack a sidestep and was able to take the ball down the field. You see right here, good vision right here. He sees Brewer up in there, but he says, I'm going to the sidelines because I have speed. He outrun Jack Brewer to the sidelines. When Jack was a free man, he's got to make the play. He's made a lot of plays with Minnesota this year. He's got to make that one when it counts.
34-yard pickup, Wisconsin winning the battle of the ground game. That's exactly what Glenn Mason talked about when he was referring to Anthony Davis. He says so many times players seem to have the angle on number 28, but can't close out on the hit. We'll be back with more in just a bit.
Wine and Spirits at the shops at Lyndale features a huge selection of wine, including hard-to-find vintages and vintners. A selection so excellent, it's as if you had created your own wine cellar. Wine and Spirits also features a large stock of single malt scotches and a wide variety of beers, including imports and microbrews. Our staff has been trained to help you find the right wine or spirit for any occasion, from fine dining to sports parties. At all 4 Richfield liquors, you'll find service, convenience, and low prices. Shop any of our 4 locations for your wine and spirit needs.
Roll into fun at Airport Bowl in Richfield with Brunswick automatic scores, anvil lanes, and a fully stocked pro shop. There's fun for the whole family with ball wall for the kids and open bowling specials. Birthday parties are always welcome. Leagues are forming now with openings for teams and individuals. Youth leagues feature certified instructors and awards. Airport Bowl also does trophy, plaque, and engraving for all sports and special occasions. For more information on leagues or open bowling, call your family bowling center. Airport Bowl, 866-7577.
Last week on Sunday NFL Countdown.
Nothing could be finer than to be a 49er.
This week, the Colts' promising season shattered. Are their playoff hopes in pieces? Meanwhile, the skin season, an amazing turnaround.
That's big news around the league.
And the seasoned veterans leading the Raiders.
You hang in there, you find a way to win.
Plus previews from all around the league. Get all your NFL news and pregame analysis first with Sunday NFL Countdown beginning 11 a.m. Sunday on ESPN.
Legend and folklore states that Paul Bunyan, the lumberjack, was responsible for making many things, including Puget Sound and the Grand Canyon. And today these two teams battling for the axe that he left behind, or at least a symbol of it. And that's where it is right now, in the case.
That's the only axe in the world that has its own personal bodyguard.
Goes everywhere with it. Jerome Pettis now in the backfield, giving Davis a breather. This is Pettis, brought down by his shoestrings. Braley making the tackle. Let's go down to Hawley.
Guys, I have what I would characterize as a love-hate relationship with Mr. Stephen R. Sasso. He is the man that guards the axe, and you know it's always my job to get to the axe. I've known him for several years. He is retiring this year after 27 years with the Wisconsin Police Force. And I said, well, thanks. I guess I won't see anymore, but thanks for being so nice to me. He said, well, I haven't always been nice, but thanks for trying to pretend. He does guard the axe, but he is retiring after 27 years.
Well, you got him to thaw out and loosen up a little bit, huh? 2nd and 11. Bollinger, incomplete. Nice plan. You know, Mike Lehan has played a heck of a game today, Chris.
Yeah, he certainly has. He brought his senior game with him. He's doing a great job back there.
Let's go to the studio.
Mark, Iowa and Iowa State, the Hawkeyes falling down 14-0 to the Cyclones. Kyle McCann fakes it to Liddell Betts and then throws it to him. Beautifully designed, beautifully executed, and scored. 14-7, Hawkeyes back in the game now in the third quarter.
Iowa coming off an emotional win last week against this Minnesota team. 3rd down and 11 for Wisconsin.
They've had some success. They're 6 for 11 on 3rd down. That keeps drives alive.
Davis back in the ball game. Complete to Anelli, a tight end, at the 13-yard line, close to the 1st down marker. Dozier making the stop on the play as we approach 6 minutes to go in the 3rd period.
Again, that's a good job by Bollinger, being patient, letting a route run its course. Yuki Dozier makes a good solid hit on a big man in Anelli to bring him short of the 1st down marker. Now, this is a good fake down mark. Their defense has kind of gotten better this second half, but they started fast. Don't forget Sorgi, the backup quarterbacks, to hold him.
Neuser attempting this field goal from 30 yards out. He missed one earlier today. He knocks this a flag down, though, at the near side 12-yard line. This one's shaping up to be another epic and compelling battle between Wisconsin and Minnesota. The oldest rivalry in college football.
There's no flag in the play. They had one man on the line of scrimmage. Field goal is good.
Let's take a look back and flashback to the 97 version of Wisconsin against Minnesota. Minnesota led 21-16 when officials ruled that Donald Hayes was forced out of bounds to make that catch. Therefore, the catch was good. Ron Dane then did the honors after that with a touchdown run. And Glenn Mason, boy, it was another day of heartache and heartbreak. And for Wisconsin,
another goalpost.
They went to work. Went to work on the goalposts. It's amazing that coach doesn't have a few more gray hairs on his head.
Yeah, Mason's had a tough year this year, but I'll tell you, he's a great football coach. I've known him for a long time.
A lot of young players returning next year for Minnesota. 3-7, a little bit deceiving in the respect that three of their Big Ten losses came by very slim margins, 7 or fewer points.
Purdue, the first game of the year in their Big Ten season, they lost a tough one, again under controversy. And those games with a young team, Mark, are often season setters. Who knows? It might have been a different story for Minnesota if they would have beat Purdue that day.
Wisconsin has endured a little heartbreak too this year. Henderson going to take a knee 5 yards deep. Asad Abdul-Khalik threw an interception on Minnesota's last series. He was picked off by Eccles. And the series before that, it was 3 and out. Look at his numbers today. And keep in mind that, as the name indicates, he is a Muslim, and he is a practicing Muslim. And this is the season of Ramadan, and part of Ramadan not only is prayer, but fasting. And he has said that today he will break his fast so that he can hydrate himself during the game, but he will just tack on an extra day of fasting when the season is over. Redmond, gain of about 6, and let's go back to Reese in the studio.
Okay, Mark, let's take you down to one of the classic rivalries in college football. Southern and Grambling playing in the Superdome and Bayou Classic. And this is Grambling's Randy Hines playing for Doug Williams, who's the head coach down there now. Picked up a nice block, and Hines is going to go 60 yards to the house, and Grambling's on top 7-0.
I want to see the halftime show in that game. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. I wonder if Doug Williams ever ran a quarterback draw.
Heck of a pocket passer. Here's Redmond. The first down and then some, out to the 44-yard line, and a first down for the Gophers.
Yeah, that's a great job by Burns, the center, again pulling out. Redmond being patient, cutting off the block that Burns is pulling center. You'll see right here. Watch Burns pull out of here. This is a one technique, which Wisconsin calls him. Got a little stunt. Burns pulling as the center, gets a block on the safety. That's the matchup you like. Bryson Thompson over runs a little bit, and Redmond using his leg drive keeps his feet going and pick up a great game.
Number 44. Redmond again brought down after a gain of about 1. Nick Bryson once again. The 6'2 senior making the stop on the play, new shoes and all.
Well, that time, how do you stop that center from being a factor blocking downfield? Well, if you're Nick Bryson, you're the middle linebacker, you read it, you come up and pop the center right in the face. Before he gets his shoulders turned, you're hitting him on an angle. Bryson did that and delivered the blow and made the tackle. It's a great job by Bryson. Derek Burns doing a good job pulling, too.
Second down and 9. Johnson on the reception, falling forward. 47-yard line. He was working on Eccles. That's been an interesting matchup all day.
That's been a great matchup. Michael did a nice job of breaking down the football, but Ron Johnson's a big, strong receiver. After he caught the ball about 5 yards, Mark, he fell forward for 2 more because of his size and his strength.
Saw Johnson walking through the athletic office halls yesterday. Already had his game face on. 3rd and short, 1 to go. Barber got the first down at the 45-yard line, brought down by Thompson. Let's go to Reese.
All right, Mark. Ohio State's defense putting the hurt on John Navarre. Kenny Peterson strips him, and Will Smith recovers it. Jim Tressel was feeling like the Fresh Prince of Ann Arbor until Craig Krenzel throws an interception in the end zone late in the half, and it's still 21-0. Wolverines dodge a bullet.
Incredible that they would respond so well under such duress and controversy.
Sign of leadership, and good leadership from Jim Tressel and the senior staff.
Drew Kalik tried to make a move on Bryson, but couldn't. Folks, more college football coming your way, this time on ABC. That's tonight in prime time. #1 Miami hosting Washington at the Orange Bowl. And Notre Dame takes on Stanford, number 13 in the country. Miami with a tremendous amount of stuff at stake in that game, as they take on the Huskies, a team that killed their national title hopes last year. Second down, 13. Put it on the ground, and Minnesota got him back. Burns, the center, was there to pounce on the loose ball.
Yeah, you'll see a good strip here. And again, we talked about this. We did Purdue last week. I think they had 4 or 5 of these, where players now are becoming aware of going after that football. Barber sticks it up in there, and you see Bryson. There's a strip right there. He tackles the ball. The second man in always tackles the ball. The first hitter will secure the hit, and the second man in has to tackle the football. And right there, Robert Brooks, a freshman, showing great awareness, knowing that, rips it out of there. Good job by Burns being aware that ball is and helps him get on the ball.
3rd and 10. It's for Johnson. He's open. Touchdown! What an effort!
Communication. You saw those guys beating on the sidelines right there. Assad Khalid gave him a look. Ron gave him a look back. That play wasn't called. They ran after eye contact. Johnson beat Eccles on a quick out and up the sidelines and showed why he's a top receiver in the Big Ten Conference.
Ron Johnson out of Detroit, Michigan, the senior. No doubt emotionally charged for this game, playing his last contest for Minnesota of his collegiate career. Extra point is good, and Minnesota has a 35-31 lead.
See that? He's talking to Hassan. See, that's what we're talking about. Hassan looked at him right before the ball was snapped. He was going right there. That's a matchup that they want. Ron Johnson on Mike Eccles. He beat him bad. The man-to-man coverage, and I looked at that. Why did they do that? Because look how close Eccles is. That's a press coverage, Mark. Right there, he gave him a swat. Eccles opened the door. He's got to keep his feet square. He's going to get contact. He opened the door and let Ron Johnson go past him. And Ron Johnson does a great job of keeping his feet in and going for the end zone. He wanted that touchdown. See him right here? He avoids the face mask right there. You see the effort that I got to score. I'm a senior. I want the axe. I got to have the axe.
They want to go chop, just like their fans right there.
Again, Minnesota answers the challenge, Mark. They've been struggling. Now, again, you feel the momentum shift back to Minnesota.
With 4 receptions tonight for Johnson Williams has 103. 15 career receptions, now has 198. And look at that, 31 touchdown catches. A very prestigious group.
Yeah, it is a pretty good group right there. Anthony Carter going into College Football Hall of Fame this year. Former teammate of mine, great player. And great NFL player also.
Minnesota has reclaimed the lead. Nick Davis going to run it out after a great punt return earlier. Davis out of bounds at the 28, and let's go to Reese in the studio.
Guys, remember how I talked about Michigan dodging a bullet? Well, then we dodged part of it. Jermaine Gonzalez in at quarterback. Navarre got pulled in. There's a miscommunication on the snap count, and Gonzalez just knocks it out of the end zone. It's a safety, and Ohio State has the ball back with a few seconds left. Iowa and Iowa State. Cyclones up 14-7 when Liddell Betts goes in for the second time of the day, and the battle for the Cy-Hawk trophy is now all locked up at 14 deep in the third.
Back here as we approach 1 minute to play in the third period. Wisconsin with the ball. Evans. Incomplete. broken up at the last minute by Dozier.
That was a nice double move by Lee Evans, but guess what? Yuki Dozier, the true freshman, I've been playing a little bit. I got a few games of experience. I'm not going to bite on a double move. He had a good break right here. Evans ran it out and up. Dozier does a good job of getting that hand in there and start ripping at that ball. Watch them, both of them go at the highest point. Lee Evans does a good job of going up at the highest point. There's that right hand. Now strip that arm out of there. Does a good job. I'll tell you, as a freshman, Yuki Dozier's impressive.
One of the young guys that'll be in uniform next year for Coach Mason. The option, Bollinger. Davis knocked it out of bounds by Ryan Doman.
That time they kind of strung the option out a little bit, kept the line of scrimmage where Bollinger didn't have time to turn it up and run. He had to toss the ball, which allowed him to pursuit. To go ahead and get to the tackle.
And the option into the boundary that time, 3rd and 6. Mark Jones along with Chris Spielman and Holly Rowe, the 111th edition of Wisconsin against Minnesota. Anthony Davis today with his second 200-yard plus rushing game of the season. And 208, a career high. 3rd and 6. Almost picked off by Lehan, and he was thinking pick 6. Not the lottery either.
And a great break on the football, and that time Brooks waited a little bit too long. He delivered the ball after the cut. If you're going to throw that out and cut to the short side of the field, that ball needs to be thrown before the cut. And that young man has to come back for the football, so he's got to take his route. Charles needs to come back. He's got to take his route deep for the comeback, so he still catches the ball behind the first down marker.
R.J. Morse into punt. The punting game has not hurt Wisconsin today. Protected well. Redmond calls for the fair catch at the 29-yard line. A 35-yard punt, nothing on the return. Minnesota with the ball and a 4-point lead. I talked about the punting protection for Wisconsin last week. It killed them. They had 2 punts blocked, and this was the critical play at the end when it bounced off one of their players. Right there.
That's tough duty. And you know the funny thing about that, Mark, is that there was nobody back deep to field the football, so that young man didn't even need to be down the field.
Brent Bell, number 13, the freshman. The egregious error. 1st and 10. Abdul Khalik putting his hat down to the 32. And obviously, it's something that he's going to think about, Bell, right there for a while, but no doubt he'll get over it. A resilient young man.
And, you know, it's good to see that none of his teammates blamed him for that loss. That's a lesson that you learn, and it won't happen again, just like Anthony Davis learned a lesson. I guarantee you'll never see him slow up before he crosses that final destination called the goal line.
2nd down and 7. Complete on the long out to Antoine Burns. Dangerously close to being picked off by Starks.
That's a nice throw. And it's close, but that's a nice throw because Starks got his 6 the other way, but he also takes a risk. If that ball would have got quicker, been a touchdown.
Emotions running high right now on both sides of the field. 15 minutes to go to see who's playing Paul Bunyan's axe.
You know, athletes are pretty well known for their superstitions, but I gotta be honest, our guys can be pretty quirky too.
Have a good show, Kenny.
You too. There's this one time Brian had a great show, didn't bathe for 17 days straight.
This year, though, it's been a very different story.
The worst had to be when Dan spilled clam chowder, Manhattan clam chowder, all over Reese. Had his best show ever. Of course, that got old for Reese really quickly.
Yeah.
He's in makeup.
Okay.
The ACC Big Ten Challenge, presented by 989 Sports, begins Tuesday, November 27th.
Hey, man, where have you been?
The Outback.
In the Outback, huh? Well, you missed a great game.
No, I saw it there.
In the Outback?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good reception?
It's great. They're very friendly, too.
You see any wildlife?
Well, the big bloomin' onions are pretty wild.
And the food?
We're talking about the food.
So don't just go out. Go out back. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
change for $1?
Sure. Introducing the all-new Chevy Avalanche. The only vehicle that changes from an SUV to a pickup.
Thanks.
Chevy Avalanche. Like a rock.
He's our best.
Where'd you learn to shoot? Boy Scout, sir.
Sent undercover in the most dangerous situations.
What is your connection? I have no connection.
Now, he's in trouble.
Tom Bishop's been arrested for espionage.
And the game,
I'm getting him out.
is
We got zero room for error.
on. Get out of the way! News we call Spy Game, gripping and entertaining. It's everything you want in a spy thriller. It keeps you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. Spy Game, rated R. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
Can you see what's so special about the Braun Synchro? It's the first shaver whose head moves from side to side, so it captures more hair and cuts closer. Only it moves so fast you can't see it. But you can hear it. And to keep it feeling like a new shaver every day, here's how to clean it.
Minnesota with a 4-point lead as we get set for the beginning of the fourth period. I'm Mark Jones along with Chris Spielman and Holly Rowe on the sidelines. 3rd and 2 Minnesota. Complete to Burns, and he has the first down at the 45-yard line. Let's take a look at our ESPN2 game track. Asad Abdul Khalik has perhaps played his best game of the season. 218 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, and Anthony Davis has done equally as well for Wisconsin running the ball, and Ron Johnson with a touchdown catch moments ago in the 3rd period to give Minnesota the lead. This is Tapei. Tapei out near midfield at the 50, brought down by Thompson. Tapei has a touchdown run today of 18 yards.
That's amazing, the weapons that Minnesota has in running back. Now, you think about Redmond is over 100 yards. You got Tapei, then you come in with the freshman, Barber. There's 3 legitimate Big Ten running backs that aren't your average of the mill running backs. Those guys all can go the distance and are good, tough runners.
2nd down and 5. Minnesota exploding for 21 points in that 2nd period. They tried to hit the out and up to Burns, but it was well out of bounds. Starks in on the coverage. Minnesota yardage pretty much even on the day. Minnesota 408 to 407 for Wisconsin. That, Chris, is in stark contrast to last week when Michigan was held by Wisconsin to just 163 yards total offense.
Well, Wisconsin's one thing you described their defense this year. At times they've been great, at times they've been horrible. And I'll tell you, 407, 408 yards. As a defensive coordinator, you're thinking, all right, boys, just let's hold on.
And a wild ride today for both teams. Complete. Down to the 40-yard line. Demetrius Johnson with his first catch of the game.
Time they ran a double slant with UTEP going inside on the slot, running the slant. Khalik has his choice. I'll take the inside slant or the outside slant. That time Johnson did a good job of pushing upfield and getting position on the corner. And Khalik, after that interception, has got his confidence back and is delivering the football quickly and making good, quick decisions and throwing it on the money.
Talked about him being a Muslim and fasting during Ramadan. He has not been able to eat or drink during the daylight hours. It's tough to do while you're practicing all week. 1st and 10, flags down the field. Chris, have you ever fasted during football season?
No. You don't intend? I needed the energy to actually play. I don't know how those guys do it.
False start, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Joe Khalik following up a great performance last week against Iowa, where he passed for over 300 yards with good performance today. Elizabeth, New Jersey.
You know, and we were talking about Assad a little bit earlier, and you made the comment, Mark, that it looks like he's finally getting it. And to me, it looks that way, too, because of the decision-making and how quick he's making decisions on where to go with the ball.
1st and 15 after that Minnesota penalty. And a great burst by Bryson, knifing through the offensive line to make the stop. Let's go to Reese.
All right, Mark, Grambling and Southern again. The winner goes to the SWAC championship game next week in Birmingham. This is Randy Hines. I want you to take a look at this gun this kid has on him. Off the wrong foot and running the wrong way, and he drops it right on Ellis Spears. And Grambling trying to knock off Southern, the thorn in their sides, 20-0.
Boy, Doug Williams has done an exceptional job down there.
The guy that obviously was a great player, college and pro, and has a chance to go back to his alma mater and get back. Really a wonderful job.
UTEP on the reception. Right down to the 41. If there were 11 guys on defense that played like Bryson, nobody would gain yards on Wisconsin.
He's an active player, an instinctive player, and that tackle that he made on the play before of bursting through the line, you can't teach that, Mark. He saw a hole. It's just like a running back. Where you're skating down the line, you see a hole, you go get it, attack it, and make a quick decision, just like a running back, but you got to make the play, and he makes a lot of them. That was a nice coverage here on Big UTEP.
Tops in the Big Ten in several categories. 3rd down and 12 for Minnesota. Burns short of the first down at the 32-yard line, and Bryson again. This guy's motor never stops.
And that's 14 on the day, Mark, on his way to 20. He's going to have one of those 20-tackle games. He's very active. He recognized the screen. He was lined up an outside linebacker right there. You see him on a quick drop, recognizing the screen, then having the speed to go sideline to sideline to get Henderson.
Bryson's going to be sore tomorrow. Meanwhile, Dan Nystrom coming in to attempt a field goal from 49 yards out. He's 9 of 15 on the year, and he's made his last 5 in a row.
These are the blockable ones because they have to drive and roll.
They fake it to Pay. And they got the first down. Glenn Mason, the sly fox of the Midwest, pressing the right button for the first down.
That's a great job by the holder, Bruning, for one thing, controlling the snap and not panicking. You watch, it's a slow snap. You'll see the snap off the ground. He gets the ball, he doesn't panic, makes a good pitch. It's a Pay. Well executed, does a good job and runs through the open hole. And he did a good job of catching that ball. Watch, look at that. That's a great job. He didn't panic. Well timed. Made the pitch without even looking. Nice job.
Abdul Khalik going up top into the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Burns.
I think Burns lost sight of that football because that ball was thrown to his outside. Burns kept running the inside. I don't think he saw where the ball was. Starks did a nice job of covering. Abdul Khalik threw it to the outside where Burns was running inside, and he didn't make an adjustment on the ball because I think he lost in the lights.
If he comes back to that, that's 6 points. 2nd down and 10 from the 28.
They're throwing it up top, though. Well, see, he's still running. He didn't see the ball.
Yeah. 2nd down and 10. To Pay. Brought down at the 24-yard line. Chris, I want to go back to that last play. You mentioned the lights. You played in this stadium as a player in the pro ranks. Is it a concern? Is it an issue sometimes?
Well, fortunately, I didn't have to look up in the lights too much because I didn't think I got knocked on my back where I was looking up at the lights. But it can be an issue in indoor stadiums. I know in the Silverdome it was an issue. I remember my rookie year against the Bears, I had a chance to get an interception. The ball was tipped high in the air. I looked up. All I saw was bright lights. Couldn't see the ball. It bounced off my face mask.
You would have caught it, though, right?
I would have gone a distance like Reese.
3rd and 6. Abdul Khalik with an audible at the line. Complete. And a first down by Tony Patterson. Made the catch and got about 6 yards after that.
Yeah, P.J. Tucker has a chance to secure the tackle. He doesn't. Now, Mark, when I talk about stripping the football, what do I say? Is it the first man in or the second man?
Second guy.
Here's P.J. Tucker. He's got the tackle. He's trying to strip the ball, but he's not the second guy in. He's the first guy in. When you have a chance to get him before the sticks, secure the tackle first. He's trying to strip that ball. Patterson does a good job of using strength to get out of that.
14th play of this Minnesota drive. All day to throw for Abdul Khalik. He keeps it himself. Went airborne and comes down at the 4. Thompson making the tackle for the Badgers. Not afraid to put his hat down and gain a few extra yards.
Well, I like the decision he made to run the football. He saw that opening break out to the other side. They had Ben Utek on a 7 route, which is a corner route by a tight end. He wasn't there. C. Kalik knew where the opening would be on the pass rush and made a decision, tucked that ball away, and became a running back. You'll see it right here. See, okay, I want to go to Utek. No, it's not there. I'm going to run the football. See him tuck that ball away? And there he goes. That takes a good shot right here by Bryson Johnson.
Run it up the middle to Pay. Brought down near the first down marker at about the 2 or 3 yard line. It's going to be close. There's Grayson on the sidelines. His lungs must be on fire.
Yeah, but you got to get back in there. You can't be tired. You're the leader. You're a leading tackler. Your team needs you. And they're on the goal line, and you're on the sidelines getting water. I mean,
our Harley Rowe reporting from the sidelines.
Unless he's hurt.
It could be an issue of cramps with him. 3rd down and 1 for Minnesota. This is the 16th play of a time-consuming drive. One guy to beat. Touchdown. Kalik showing tremendous moxie and field generalship in the pocket today.
That's great ball handling, hiding that football, sticking that hand out there, giving a good job on a fake, not rushing to run, and finding the corner end zone with speed.
Keep in mind that one of the key plays in this drive was that 4th down fake punt when Tapei ran for the first down. Asad Abdul Kalik with a courageous effort today. Ball handling, keeping his composure, and giving Minnesota an 11-point lead.
Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Aflac.
Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called?
Aflac.
I don't know. Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Morning. How'd you sleep?
Good.
I slept great. Must be that fresh mountain air, you know? Nothing like it. Oh, man.
Introducing the Jetta wagon with room for 70 cubic feet of anything.
The great outdoors.
Thanks to CompUSA, I'm connected at the pool. So what's your email?
Thanks to CompUSA, I'm connected at home.
I'm connected at the studio.
I'm connected all over.
Go away, I'm playing a game.
Thanks, CompUSA.
Thanks, CompUSA. I said I was busy, do you mind? Huh?
CompUSA, where America buys technology. Now at CompUSA, buy any CD-RW drive and get 50 recordable CDs free.
You can dunk, but you can't dip.
Your dip is gone, baby.
What are you talking about? No dip.
Introducing new Tostitos Scoops.
Let me tell you something, Bill. I put the hip in chip. Watch this.
With the bite-sized, bowl-shaped design for the perfect dip every time. New Tostitos Scoops.
Whoa.
The dip lover's chip.
This is my house.
Yes, it is.
No, this is my house. You guys got to go.
Also great with new Queso Supreme dip.
Minnesota leading 42-31 with 8:10 to play in the 4th period. I'm Mark Jones along with Chris Spielman and Holly Rowe down on the sidelines. Plenty of football remaining. Wisconsin has come back many times before. All you have to do is ask Minnesota. Davis at the goal line. Davis tackled at the 22. Take one more look at that great ball handling and run by the quarterback.
Yeah, you'll see Erasmus James right here. He's got contained. That means nothing gets outside. He does a good job holding his position. Now, the only thing he has to do is when you have contained as a rule, wide is the widest. He thought he had his good position on him, but he takes a bad angle, Mark. He comes upfield instead of going down the line sideways and using the sideline to help him. Once he came upfield, Abdul Khalif used his speed to get around the corner.
Bollinger, time to get to work for him. Lehan making the tackle on Evans that time. Evans picks up about 5 on the play.
And don't forget, Grayson was out. He's suffering from leg cramps. It's tough to run with leg cramps. It's like running with 2 casts on his feet. He's over there, get some water. Hopefully he'll be back in the game. That defense needs him. He's a football warrior.
He has been the heart and soul of Badger defense today. On that last drive, he must have made about half a dozen tackles. 2nd down and 6 for Wisconsin. Pedersen at tailback. Bollinger complete. First down, Evans. Time now for our Aflac trivia question. Now, Wisconsin's Anthony Davis is one of 3 freshmen in NCAA history to rush for 100 yards plus 9 times. Name one of the other 2. So you get a choice here. You have to get one.
We're lowering our standards on the Aflac trivia question.
That was Pettis, brought down by Archer.
Mark, you got to look at the clock now. This is a 2-possession ball game. Wisconsin's got to get in and out of the huddle and get moving. That clock is working in Minnesota's favor now.
Anthony Davis getting a breather on the sidelines, while Jerome Pettis, fellow freshman, in at tailback right now. He's gone for over 200 yards rushing today. Number 28 has.
The only thing I can see why he's on the bench is maybe Pettis is a better blocker for passing, because that ball's got to be in the air pretty soon.
Wisconsin with 2 timeouts remaining. And now they've burned their 2nd one, and now they have just 1 left. Time to get the brain trust together and brainstorm a little bit. They trail by 11 when we come back.
Bottle after bottle, row after row of wine. 3,000 varieties, all at the Liquor Depot. 2 short blocks from the Metrodome. Imports, domestics, reds, whites, Bordeaux, and hard-to-find wines from all over the world are on the shelves at the Liquor Depot. Need help? Just ask the wine experts at the Liquor Depot. Our staff has been trained to guide you in the selection of just the right wine for any occasion. Over 14,000 square feet of wine, beer, spirits, and one of the largest single malt selections in the nation. Find it all at the Liquor Depot, just west of 35W on Washington South, downtown Minneapolis.
You already know Chez Daniel is located in a beautiful atrium in the Embassy Suite Hotel. And you also know it's a perfect place for an intimate dinner for 2 or large gathering with friends.
But did you also know that we feature banquet and conference facilities for up to 450 people? Perfect for weddings, reunions, social events, and company functions.
And I might even cook for you. Chez Daniel Restaurant and Banquet Facility, just east of France, on West Elliott.
College football Saturday. A great rivalry between 2 top 25 teams. David Green and Georgia battle George Godsey and the Ramblin' Wreck. Georgia Tech, 7:45 tonight on ESPN.
To play in the ACC Big Ten Challenge, you need strong triceps. Buzzy, show me some strong teams.
Illinois takes on the Terps. Then top-ranked Duke battle the Hawkeyes. The ACC Big Ten Challenge, presented by 989 Sports. Coverage begins at 7 Tuesday.
ESPN2's presentation of college football is brought to you by Aflac. Ask about it at work. And by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Wouldn't you love to be fed the spoils of victory from that spoon, huh?
Man, big axes, big spoons, big cherries. Everything's big up here.
2nd down and 4 for Wisconsin. They trail by 11. Pettis, his knee dropped at the 38-yard line. Let's go back to Reese in the studio with the Oaken bucket up there.
And marking weekend filled with offense. We got a little defense. 4th and goal. Montrello trying to get in, and the Hoosiers rise up and deny him. Still 13-7 in the 4th. And Pittsburgh trying to go in against West Virginia in the backyard brawl. Rod Rutherford, the goal line quarterback, is slammed down and denied. Turned into a field goal for the Panthers. They still lead by 6.
All right, Reese back here, 3rd and 5 for Wisconsin. Incomplete.
Yeah, miscommunication between Evans and Bulger. Evans set inside on a little smash route, curl route, where Bulger thought he was going to break outside, which he should have because the strong safety Eisen was sitting inside. You got to read that. Bulger read it. Evans didn't.
Chris sets up a 4th down and 5, and Wisconsin is going to punt. R.J. Morse into punt. His 5th punt of the day. Redmond standing back at his own 23. Morse gets off a nice one, a high spiral. Redmond with a nice return out to the 24-yard line. A 56-yard punt and 21 on the return. Barry Alvarez's team with a lot ahead when we come back.
Okay, Vegas, Austin, Tulsa, Vegas, honey, Yuma, and Austin. Strauss, kids? Phoenix, huh?
The bow. Resistance becomes strength. Becomes power. The power to change and reshape your entire body. This is Bowflex, an entire gem-in-one easy-to-use machine. So powerful, it delivers over 60 health club quality exercises with up to 410 pounds of resistance in any room in your home. Strength training with Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. One simple workout. 20 minutes a day, 3 days a week. Bowflex is real. The results are real. And you can own one with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Call right now for a free video and brochure. Bowflex, the power is yours.
Right now, Minnesota Golden Gopher fans wielding the axe, albeit play ones with a lot of vim and vigor. Their team leading 42 to 31.
Wisconsin only has one timeout left. I don't know if they want to use them on their defensive side of the ball here. We're going to get a big dose of running backs.
Thomas Tapé, the back right now. There's that reverse they ran earlier for a lot of yards. Redmond got 60-odd on the last one, about 15 on that. Let's go back to Reese and find out what's happening in the Big Ten.
Well, remember, Mark, Ohio State blew a 17-point lead against Wisconsin, 18-point lead against Penn State, up 23-0 on Michigan with John Navarre back in the game. A dart to Marquise Walker is 23-7. With that catch, Walker passes Anthony Carter on Michigan's all-time list.
Lots of records falling today.
You know, Michigan was a 9-point favorite going into that game. Boy, that's a lot of points for that game.
Ellis Redmond was stopped up at the 38-yard line by Bryson Thompson.
Good hit. They filled the hole, Bryson.
Yeah. Nick Bryson back in the ballgame. Time now for our answer to our Aflac trivia question. Anthony Davis, one of 3 freshmen in NCAA history to rush for 100-plus yards in 9 games. Or name one of the 2 other. Tony Dorsett of Pitt in 73, and Poe James back in 1968 in Mexico State.
TD can go at Heisman.
Nice. Stopped up on third down. Wendell Bryant and Hawthorne, both of them on second down, pardon me.
Well, both Wendell Bryant and Hawthorne did a great job of getting inside and making plays right here. You see Hawthorne take center, control him. Wendell Bryant does a nice job of beating his guy inside. With 600 pounds of getting Tellus Redmond right there. Wendell Bryant could be a dominant player. The more consistent he is, the better he gets. He could be a great player. He's got the size, speed, the knowledge to be a great NFL player one day.
And leads the Big Ten coming into the game with 8 sacks. 3rd and 12 for Minnesota. Abdul Khalik hit hard, and he is shaken up. Getting up slow at the 44-yard line, short of the first down. He took a hit that time from Bose.
And Bose came up there and made a nice open field tackle where Abdul he's got to make a decision now, Abdul. Not a way to stay in there and take a hit. But you're a quarterback. You're going to get tackled, get down, protect the ball.
Seeing a few cobwebs right now and feeling a few in his head. Wisconsin burns a timeout. We'll be right back.
Hey, Carrot Top here. Next time you make a collect call, just dial down the center with 1-800-CALLATT. It's free for you and cheap for them. Daddy's working. Come on, sit. Oh, doggy.
Save big bucks on every call. Just dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
There is the world you know, and one you can only imagine, where you can navigate satellites or fly without ever leaving the ground, where you can live in the future before it even arrives. When you cross into the blue, everything is different and important, especially you.
Morning. How'd you sleep?
Good.
Ah, I slept great. Must be that fresh mountain air, you know? Nothing like it. Oh, man.
Introducing the Jetta wagon with room for 70 cubic feet of anything.
Ah, the great outdoors.
There have been so many compelling moments in this series between Wisconsin and Minnesota. At stake today, Paul Bunyan's axe. And Wisconsin, a very good road team, still harboring thoughts of keeping the axe in Madison. There it is inside that case.
Yeah, they've had it so long. The axe has its own little personal case.
Wisconsin colors. Grunig to punt. And he gets off a great high spiral. Davis tackled immediately at the 6. Isom.
That's a great job of awareness by Isom. First of all, keeping the offensive blocker on his back, stopping in time not to violate the no-halo rule, then securing the tackle on a dangerous return man. Isom's the gunner right here. Look, stop, knowing the blocker's on his back, then securing the tackle. That's a great job in awareness by Isom. He was really a really good football player, and he was playing for the injured Eli Ward. We saw him against Michigan, made a big pick in the end zone.
96 yards to go. Check that, 94 yards to go for Wisconsin. First down and 10. This is their worst starting field position of the day at the most inopportune time.
Yeah, no timeouts, Mark. 2-possession ball game.
Bollinger cups it under, gets out of bounds. Run out at the 18-yard line. Folks, college football continuing tonight on ESPN. The Battle of Georgia, state bragging rights. It's Georgia, number 23, against number 19, Georgia Tech. George Godsey pulling the trigger for the Ramblin' Wreck. 86 meeting between these two teams on Rivalry Saturday here in college football.
Well, I love these rivalries. Man, guys get after it. Find a new gear. Subconscious gear.
They have left it all in the field today. First and 10 for Wisconsin. Complete to Pettis. Still in for Davis. Davis still on the bench. Vance made the tackle on the play. Wisconsin without a timeout. Dupree made the tackle.
Well, Bradley Vance did a good job of getting him down, keeping him in bounds, which obviously keeps the clock moving. Pettis was working to get out of bounds at the sidelines.
Bollinger complete to Anelli. Anelli steps out of bounds just shy of the 40. Pushed out by Yuki Dozier.
Davis took a shot in the head. Kind of protecting him. He's kind of looking wheezy. Great day. 206 yards rushing. Outstanding. 208, excuse me.
There you go. The freshman setting a NCAA freshman record today.
I like that right there. 7.2 a pop.
Second most rushing yards this season for Wisconsin as a team. 2nd and 1 for the Badgers. Wide open over the middle, Darren Charles. And there's a flag down on the play. Ben Johnson may be called for the hold.
Now we got roughing the passer. Greg White. You got to use your head now. If you're with Minnesota, you lost a lot of close games this year. You don't want to have that, oh my gosh, here we go again feeling.
Right.
And a way to avoid that is no penalties.
Personal foul, roughing the passer in the defense. 15-yard penalty for previous stop.
We witnessed Minnesota's lead against Purdue late in the game dissolve in an instant.
You'll see him right here. He's working hard, working hard, working hard. Right? Jeez. I mean, he left his feet. He's trying to make a play. That's tough duty, man. That's a tough call to make. You know, if I'm Coach Mason, I don't get mad at that. That's a good job. Trying to get a sack.
First down and 10. They blitz off the corner. Anelli makes the catch. Dozier made the tackle short of the first down at the 38-yard line. Wisconsin in hurry-up mode. No timeouts remaining for them. 2nd down and 3. Evans lined up to the bottom of your screen. Bollinger has all day and is sacked this time at the 40-yard line by White and Fraley. Clock keeps running with 2:20 to go.
Yeah, Justin Fraley's an undersized outside linebacker, but he does have speed, and he looked like a shot coming back, getting a shot on Bollinger.
Wide open. Out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Stopping the clock with 2:03 to go.
Got a busted coverage right there. Evans running on a takeoff route. Lehan stopped short. He's playing cover 2. Thought he's going to have a safety behind him to help. Well, the safety's late getting there. Evans does a good job of securing the football. Safety was too late. Watch here. Here comes Evans coming off the ball. Does a good job avoiding the jam. Lehan jumped him. Go get some distance. Here's Standers 2 minutes to go. Don't worry about the underneath stuff.
How does the most dangerous player on the field get so wide open? That's what Glenn Mason's wondering.
Mental error.
1st and goal for Wisconsin. No timeouts remaining for them. Picked off. Henry. And that might do it for Minnesota. Jimmy Henry dropped in to the zone and made the play.
Never saw him. How appropriate for a senior to make the play on the game of the axe. That's it, Jimmy. You deserve it, kid. Get with your teammates. Get with your teammates. That's it. Hug him, baby.
He's keeping this one. Minnesota Golden Gophers just 156 away from getting their hold on the axe.
Jimmy Henry right here kind of sitting on the line. Reads Brooke Bollinger's eyes, and he'll drop right underneath where the ball's supposed to be thrown. He's trying to hit Evans. Isom's over there doing a dance. I love it. He says, go, Jimmy, go, Jimmy. Here comes Jimmy Henry. Look, nice job of reading Bollinger's eyes and making a catch on a difficult throw. That ball was drilled in there.
Minnesota They just let the clock run out. Assad Abdul-Khalik limping out of the pile there.
Well, just take it easy there, Assad.
But Glenn Mason's team has played with a lot of temerity and guts today. And so has Wisconsin. We talked about the intensity of this rivalry. Neither team going to a bowl game this year, but this was, in essence and in effect, their respective bowl games.
Mark, that's a great point that you made in the beginning of the game, that you pointed this out, that this game will bring bowl intensity. And it's probably been a little bit more than bowl intensity because it is the last game, and a lot of these seniors have played their guts and hearts out. Grayson for Wisconsin.
Let's go downstairs to Holly Rowe.
Guys, here's an update on the axe. I checked with the police officer to see how it will exchange hands. He said, we'll take it out of the case, and the players from Minnesota will just run over and grab it. And then he said, I guess that's how it happens. We haven't lost it in so long. And Mark, I know you're very into the case. Well, if you flip it over, it's Minnesota's colors, so the carrying case goes with the axe.
Thank you, Holly.
Boy, that police officer, I don't think he's going to want to give it up. Well, that's the way he guards that thing.
It's not too formal the way they exchange hands. No, you just run over.
Actually, look, they're lining up. They're getting a three-point stance to go get the axe.
Wisconsin will end their season 5-7. Minnesota, meanwhile, will improve to 4-7 on the year.
Both young teams, both will be good football teams next year.
Both serving notice that they'll be factors in the Big Ten race next season. Glenn Mason with his first win.
Look at him. Go get it.
Wisconsin.
Ron Johnson, I got to get the axe.
He's the senior, one of 16 playing their last game at home. And they're about to storm the Wisconsin sidelines and stake their claim to Paul Bunyan's axe. Where is it? There it is. For Minnesota. For Chris Spielman and Holly Rowe and our entire crew, I'm Mark Jones. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Right now to Reese in the studio.
Mark, thank you very much. Glad to have you with us on the College Game Day